Oh, just sipping on my tea. What's going on, you guys? James here, and today I'm breaking down week 8 of The Bachelor, probably the most engaging episode yet, with all of the tea. But before we hop into hometowns and talk about who went home and who's a home wrecker, if this is your first time here at the channel, welcome to Real James. Now, if you're wondering who that is, that's me. And I love talking all about movies and TV. So you're not gonna wanna miss out on anything I drop. Go ahead and hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, and tap on the notification bell if you haven't already. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and in the comments below, let me know, what did you think of hometowns? Because, boy, that drama was a little much. Oh my goodness. Now, before we get started, if you're not a fan of The Bachelor, don't worry, because I have more content for you. If you like Harrison Ford and you like dogs, you might like The Call of the Wild, but I'm gonna tell you why you don't want to see that movie. It's not very good. My review for The Call of the Wild is in the description below, and I just broke down the first look at Carnage and Venom 2. That link is also in the description below. So let's waste no more time. We're in week 8, The Bachelor, hometowns, Victoria F, all the tea, all of it. My goodness, let's break it down. So, okay, before I start talking about hometowns, I wanted to tell you guys that I think I've changed my tone on this season. See, I thought, okay, Peter, great Bachelor, bad contestants, but I think it's Peter for the most part. I think he's not a very good leading man. Now, listen, I might get chewed out for this, but Peter was a good contestant on Hannah B season, right? He was awesome, and we all thought that he was the #1 choice until, of course, Hannah B went with Jed. But Peter as the Bachelor is not convincing for me. I think he doesn't know necessarily what he wants, and this wasn't the time to try to figure out what he wants. Now, I can understand him taking the time to find out which girl he wants to spend the rest of his life with, but bro, it's like you don't know. If someone sheds a tear, they get a rose. If somebody just lies to your face, get a rose. It's like, I don't know what he wants, and I think that I've come to the conclusion that this season is really underwhelming. I'm not saying that this season's a total wash. I mean, there are some okay takeaways, but I genuinely think that this season's underwhelming for the most part. But week 8 was actually the most engaging week of his season yet. So let's hop into how many girls we have left. We have 4. Kelsey, Hannah Ann, Madison, and Victoria F. And now that we're in hometowns, I can start to feel us getting closer and closer to the end. So things are getting a little bit interesting just for that fact alone. So Peter starts hometowns off with Hannah Ann, whose family is always crying. Guys, I remember in week 7, if you haven't seen my recap, the video should be popping up on the screen now. But Hannah Ann cries a lot. And she goes and she visits her family again, I'm guessing for the first time in months, and all they do is cry. Like, I understand crying on the first time that you see each other, but they only cry. It's really annoying, but whatever. Let's move on. One of the bigger takeaways from Hannah Ann's hometown is that her dad really set Peter straight and was like, "You don't tell my daughter you love her." Wait, let me stop. Let me start over. He basically told Peter, "Don't tell my daughter you love her unless you mean that word 110%. And yes, he was pointing. No, he wasn't pointing, but I'm pointing because it feels better to point. Well, after all that's said and done, Hannah Ann says to Peter that she loves him. And here's my thing, guys. Hannah Ann, girl, how are you going to tell someone you love him after only 8 weeks of dating him, but you were in a relationship for 3.5 years and told Peter that you never found love with that person? That's a long time. I'm starting to think something's afoot here. I don't know. Moving on. So just a heads up, guys, I am going to rank each hometown date at the end of this, so you're going to want to stick around till the very end. Okay, the second hometown date is Kelsey. Not actually that bad. Now that I think about it, it actually was a pretty decent date. They went and they made grapes together, and they were dancing in these big tin buckets with grapes, and, well, it was kind of dancing. I actually don't know what it was. It looked like they were trying to catch each other from falling. Not necessarily a consistent move, back and forth. But whatever the case might be, they made their own wine blend, and that was cool. I really enjoyed that. It was fun to watch, and it seemed like they both had fun together. But can I be honest with you guys? Peter walked up on the scene like a poor man's Gary Vee with that beanie. There's a graphic that should pop up on the screen to let you know what exactly I was thinking about, but I just fell out of my chair laughing. Well, we clearly know that Kelsey and Peter have a strong relationship, and they seem to have gone through a lot already in 8 weeks. So Kelsey clearly tells Peter that she's in love with him. Kelsey's family's a little bit more apprehensive and kind of is reserved, but they seem to like Peter just fine. Something I immediately noticed was that Kelsey's hometown is much more genuine than Hannah Ann's. Maybe that's because I kind of like Kelsey a little bit better than Hannah Ann, but it just felt like Hannah Ann's wasn't necessarily natural. But moving on to what might have been my favorite hometown date is Madison's, and they go to Auburn, and they go to Auburn University, and that's cool because they go to the arena, and Charles Barkley's on the screen and is like, let me tell you something. Let me tell you, I don't even know the accent that I'm trying to do there, but it was really cool to see both Madison and Peter kind of have a shared interest with basketball, and maybe it's because I have a soft spot for basketball, because I played the sport and I fell in love with the sport first, but they just had a good time, and you can tell that this is a very genuine relationship. Now, I've said it from week 2 or week 3 that Madison seems to be the front runner, and I don't think that title is actually taken from her. No one's going to take that title, but it's up to Peter because this next hometown date. But wait, let me not get ahead of myself. Madison did not actually tell Peter that she loves him. So she's the only girl so far to not say, I love you, Peter. And that's very interesting. But the thing is, Peter, in an off-camera interview, of course, you know, the sort of testimonials that they do, he said that he loves Madison. He didn't say that about any of the other girls. So that's cool. I think that's awesome. But I'm just still not so confident he's going to choose her. I mean, that's a discussion for another video. So we go to Virginia Beach, and Victoria F meets Peter, and they're all on the beach with Victoria F's dog, I presume, and boy, I'm already annoyed. Victoria F, I used to actually think she was an okay candidate, but then she just does this thing where she gaslights Peter, and she makes him feel like the person who's in the wrong here, and oh my gosh, it was so annoying, guys. So they go to another country concert. At least this time they didn't get a country singer that Victoria F has dated, but that's besides the point. They did fun stuff, I guess, right? Or at least it looked fun for them. The only thing I noticed is that Victoria F lets her dog eat her ice cream, and I'm like, girl, what is you doing? Get your dog his own ice cream, or her own ice cream. I don't know what gender of breed this is, whatever. Why are you letting a dog eat your ice cream? That's weird to me, but whatever. The thing is, none of that matters because the biggest bombshell of the night, of the entire season, is that an ex-girlfriend of Peter's meets up with him on the pier right after the concert as they split ways. As Victoria F goes and gets ready for the meeting with the parents, and then Peter goes and does whatever he's gonna do. And this girl, I guess her name is Maddie, I can't remember, tells Peter to be careful because Victoria F is known for ruining relationships. And I have heard some things about her ruining some relationships as well. So, bears the question. Is this a relationship she's not going to be able to maintain? And that's what Peter is like kind of going through and mulling over in his mind. Boy, that conversation that they had that night before actually he went to go meet Victoria F's parents was hilarious. Guys, it annoyed me so much because Victoria F never actually really addressed it. She never denied it. And she kind of denied it, but she didn't. She was like beating around the bush. For some reason, thought it was okay to put the ball in Peter's court and tell him, like, you know, well, you need to make a decision here type of thing. She didn't want to have the conversation. She got up and left. Typical Victoria F things. Well, Peter leaves and doesn't even meet Victoria F's family. And I was like, boy, that was petty. So Victoria F's hometown is in shambles. Peter leaves, like I said, and it's just a huge mess. And then we get to the rose ceremony the next day, and that's an even bigger mess. Honestly, Kelly should have been in Victoria F's spot, and Victoria F was acting like she's handing out the roses. So I figured she's going to be sent home. She really is. And she wasn't. The girl to be sent home that night was Kelsey, and I have a funny feeling Victoria F is somehow going to make it into next week, and the same thing's going to happen. She's going to blow up in Peter's face, and it's going to be a huge, big ol' mess. And I would hope she goes home next week, but I don't think she will. I have a feeling something else is going to happen. I really hope Madison stays, and I, at this point, would prefer Hannah Ann over Victoria F, but why do I have a funny feeling it's not going to come down to that? I mean, we'll see. It's going to be really interesting, but yes, so Kelsey goes home, and she's pretty distraught. Unfortunately, you know, she kind of loved on Peter a little bit more than Peter loved on her, and our remaining ladies are Victoria F, Hannah Ann, and Madison. Madison's got a little secret to tell Peter, though, one that they haven't talked about, where she's saving herself for marriage. That's what they were teasing for next week's episode. Nothing wrong with that. But then there was something in the promo for next week that irritated me, where Victoria F called her, Madison, I think. Yeah, it was Madison. Disgusting. Victoria F, are you serious, girl? Oh my god, that attitude is disgusting, Victoria F. It's gross. So what did we learn from week 8, ladies and gentlemen? Victoria F is a homewrecker. She's a mess. Peter's a mess. He's not that great of a bachelor. The season's underwhelming. Madison should win. Let's hope she does. I don't know if she will. The tea is boiling. It's overfloweth. That's not even a word. Not even a word. So that was hometowns. That was week 8, and it was everything that kind of riled me up. And I did say I was going to rank the hometowns. I want to put Madison's at number 1. probably just because, you know, I like basketball and I really appreciated their date. Kelsey at number 2, Hannah Ann at number 3, and Victoria F, can you even rank her hometown? Because, guys, it didn't even happen. Alrighty, guys, there you have it. That's my week 8 recap of The Bachelor. If you guys want to see me do more of these, like this video, share with your friends, and let me know. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel below, tap on the notification bell right next to it. I have a couple reviews dropping this week, at least I'm going to try to squeeze them in, for The Assistant and Ordinary Love. That's actually Liam Neeson's new movie that flew under the radar for at least myself and probably many others. Alrighty guys, again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next screening.